This example is from MTB 1370, Math for Health Related Professions, in the chapter that deals with decimals. In this problem, we have an instructional assistant who is ordering supplies for a nursing lab, and there's a couple different ways to purchase urinary catheters. One way is by the box. And by the box, 12 catheters come in a box for $98.76. So a box has 12 catheters. Altogether, they cost $98.76. But you also could buy the catheters by a case. And inside the case, there are actually 12 boxes. And that has a lot more catheters and costs $975. And the question says, calculate the savings per catheter when a case is purchased. Okay, so what we want to calculate in this problem, the difference between the catheter cost bought by the box and the catheter costs by the case. So to do that, let's write catheter cost, and in parentheses I'll put by box. That means when we buy them by the box. But we're calculating the cost per catheter. And to do that, we have to take the total cost, which is $98.76. We have to divide that by 12 catheters. And if you take your calculator and divide that out, let me take my calculator and do that at the same time you're doing it. 98.76 divided by 12 appears to be $8.23. So $8.23 per catheter. I'll just put per cath. So that's when we buy it by the box, which only has 12 of them in there. But if we buy it by the case has 12 boxes, and we know each box has 12 catheters. So if we want to find the catheter cost per unit when we buy it by the case, we do the same thing. We take the total cost, which is $975, and divide it by the number of catheters. But when you buy it by the case, there are 12 boxes of 12. So 12 times 12 is 144 catheters. So you're buying a lot more catheters. So we have a lot more catheters at 144 catheters. Now if we divide the total cost when we buy it by the case, which is $975, and we divide it by 144 catheters, that gives us a price of $6.77 per catheter. So we took $975 and divided it by 144. So it's dollars per catheter. Now the question though says calculate the savings per catheter. So here we have the price is per catheter. We want to know the savings when you buy it by the case. You notice the case price per catheter is lower. So to find the savings, we subtract. So the savings would be $8.23, which was the price per catheter when they were purchased by the single box of 12, minus the price per catheter when we bought it by the case. And if we subtract those two, 823 take away 677, we get $1.46 savings per catheter. So that's how much we're saving. So if you know you're going to go through a lot of catheters, it's wiser to buy them by the case because we get them for a smaller price per catheter. We save $1.46 per catheter.